The scene, a cafe in New Orleans.
New Orleans' finest. That's what I was, without question. I made my rounds. Like that clock, yes I did. For 15 years, without questioning my duties. Without questioning anything, until Katrina hit like the worst criminal mind ever to descend upon the Big Easy. Oh, sweet Jesus, I can still remember those swollen faces of grandmothers and grandchildren as I pulled them from the waters. I can still hear their cries, even though they were silent by the time I found them. I turned in my badge and I moved to Baton Rouge after that. Then, my sweet Jesus, you did not come with me.
Kids have always been my life, though I've never had any of my own. Heck, never even had a steady man. But it's always been such a contentment for me to receive cards and letters, even phone calls from students 5-10 years after they've graduated, telling me what a big difference I made in their lives. I've always likened it to being a sculptress, molding young minds and all. But when the levees broke, I had to leave their dreams and mine in the lurch. Took a bus to Houston. Only recently came back to Broadmoor. Holy Mary, Mother of God, what a mess. What a sorry mess.
I was the son of a preacherman, and I've been a preacherman all my life, tending to souls in the lower Ninth Ward much like my father did. Don't know if my son will follow in the ways of the cloth, but he's a good kid. Like most of the kids in my parish, a very good kid. Though at times he wonders why the Lord would smite such a poor community, sort of like rubbing salt in someone's wounds. That's the analogy he would use. I keep reminding him the best things in life come from struggles. I keep reminding myself, too.
Let's see. Policeman, teacher, preacher man, and thief. Well, that's the way the man has classified me. I prefer the term of dubious morals myself. Heck, I wasn't born with a talent for picking locks. I was just a good student of the streets. The only classroom I ever excelled in, you could say. But I ain't never hurt no one. That's not my style. And I ain't godless either, like some people say. To the contrary, the Big G was definitely with me the day when I swam in the door of a flop house, on the second floor no less, and helped Mr. Jose Florio, age 79, to breathe again. And I ain't never felt so helpless before, yet all-powerful.
Look at the time, will you? Breakfast is almost over, and he's still not here.
Don't they serve breakfast all day?
Oh, well, maybe, what's your point?
Relax. Be patient.
Yeah, right, that's easy for you. You learned all kinds of patience, jimmying windows and breaking into people's safes.
Right, and you've forgotten how to be patient because why? A gun and a badge give you permission to be a prick?
Hey, put these on.
And why the hell would I do that?
To make this transition from interviewee to inmate a lot easier.
Oh, so this bar stool is a safety base?
What?
Like when you're a kid playing a game of tag, which means I could slug you and get away with it.
Oh, go ahead, just try me, you punk.
Gentlemen, there's no need to quarrel. Not on such a blessed day as this.
Oh, sorry, Father. I almost forgot you were there. Care to elaborate? Why is this day so blessed?
Well, because we are finally getting our chance to have our story heard. The true story, the whole story, by the whole world. All we have to do is wait for the reporter to arrive and then walk right up to that microphone right there and speak our minds. Ears from here to Kathmandu will be listening.
Yeah, the documentary. Well, I can understand why I'm here and why you're here. And the beautiful dame down at the end there, you're a school teacher of some sort, right?
Of some sort.
Now, I can see why you were invited too. But this hoodlum next to me, I wouldn't invite him to his own funeral. Why should he be here?
Maybe to tell another side of the story. It's really kind of cold in here, and I left my sweater in the car, but I don't feel like...
I can get it for you, miss. Just give me your keys and I'll be glad.
Yeah, glad to drive off and leave you stranded. He's not to be trusted, certainly. What are you doing with that beignet, you ass?
A little symbolism before I eat it, that's all.
What does it represent?
Don't ask him that.
Too late. This beignet here, this round piece of heaven.
Ah, yes.
Of heaven on earth.
Oh.
It's really the Superdome, okay?
Okay, I'll play along.
Well, do you really have to indulge him?
And what is that pool of praline sauce supposed to be?
Oh, that's easy, miss.
Too easy. Don't be dense. It's a flood.
Of biblical proportions.
No, I don't think that's right.
It's the press, the media, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, all descending upon the dome like a tidal wave of self-importance, when they should have been focusing their attention on much deeper issues.
Like,
Stop prodding him.
Like poverty.
Well, yeah, but more than that.
kids flunking out and dropping out?
Yes, there's way too much of that, too.
Yeah, lawlessness and chaos.
Absolutely, but more like...
What causes men to behave in a lawless and chaotic way? I think we're back to the issue of mediocre education.
And poverty. Visit 20 homes in my parish and you'll find 21 living in squalor.
Wait a minute, 21? Am I missing something here?
Maybe some compassion?
Here, put them on.
Here we go again. You're no longer a cop, remember?
I don't give a flying... I don't care. Because quite truthfully, you are the cause of this troubled country's problems. You bastard. Every last one of you should be carted away on tugboats like garbage and dumped on desert islands.
Like lepers? Oh, no, my son. That is not a commendable way to deal with such a problem. Put the handcuffs away and let the man speak. We were all invited here on equal footing, after all. Which reminds me, where is our young filmmaker friend? How will the world ever hear our story if he never arrives? Who will be the heir to our hurricane?
I'm almost to the point where I don't care if he ever arrives. I mean, it wasn't easy coming back here. And it's Saturday. I could have slept in.
We could have all slept in. But there's work to be done. My neighborhood is just starting to blossom again, all because Broadmoor is remembering how people should be behaving, how they should be sticking together.
The Ninth Ward is sticking together too, my dear. Only it doesn't much matter when the whole city, the whole country seems to forget you exist. But they're sure making sure Mardi Gras goes on every year, that's for sure. And conventions. Don't let me get started on how many conventions New Orleans is playing host to this year.
Bingo.
Excuse me, but the fire hall is down the street.
I mean bingo. You've hit the nail on the head, Father. The broader, deeper issue that anchors us all to failure. Ignorance.
I believe I've already touched on this. Education, or the lack thereof. No child left behind my ass.
No. Our government's ignorance. The President, the Secretary of State, the head of Homeland Security, even our state senators, they're clueless. They don't know what's really going on in New Orleans. How could they? They don't even know what's going on in the streets of Washington. Ask anyone who lives there. Ask anyone who lives here. Nobody in authority cares about us because we don't serve a purpose. We are the lowly centipedes without voices. But hey, just let there be a fire at the Monte Carlo Casino in Vegas. Look how fast they put the flames out. Big money talks. That's all I'm trying to say.
You'd better not be saying that our firefighters and emergency workers can be bought. For so help me,
I know the handcuffs. Go ahead. Put them on me. I feel like I've been shackled all my life anyway. You know what I used to eat for breakfast when I was a kid?
Who cares?
I would imagine not beignets with praline sauce.
A slice of toast on a plate with sugar and warm milk.
Nourishment of the soul is just as important as the stomach. Remember that.
I didn't even know the church existed back then, Father, except as a building to stand in front of and beg for quarters. Just a building, and I panhandled like I was working outside a jazz club. Forgive me, please forgive me. I've changed, Father. I truly have changed. Just ask God and Jose Florio.
Who?
Remember? The elderly gentleman he rescued from the jaws of Katrina.
More like the bowels.
We've all risen from that place. And you're right. We've all changed. I bet you didn't know that I volunteer at a nursing home 3 times a week.
I work at a soup kitchen every day.
I turned my living room into a classroom.
And mine's been transformed into a chapel.
What a group we are.
Oh, what a group. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just toast with coffee.
After this documentary thing is over, why don't we all grab a real drink?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the documentary. I can't wait to have my chance at the microphone.
Speaking of the microphone, why is there a little red light at the end of it?
That is peculiar.
Yes. Very odd.
Now, where is that filmmaker?